Good evening, good evening. 7 p.m., Lewis Helps Live. 7 p.m., Lewis Helps Live. So this week, I got a call actually this morning from my cousin, and he was expressing his insight and his views from what I spoke about last week was about the power versus force and 10x is easier than 2x. And I was relating that to regrets. So he was expressing that he had got the book 10x is easier than 2x, and he was extremely excited due to the fact it wasn't so much the book was teaching him anything, but it was revealing in him that his big ideas, his big dreams, hey Val, how you doing? His big insight was the proper course, and that the 2x things were really a distraction from the big dreams, the big vision that he had for himself. And it was refreshing to read something that was reinforcing that. So I was really happy that he was getting that insight and things of that nature. So I told him beginning in May, I'm going to start scheduling people for the summer to come on and talk about topics and discuss things, insights that they have, ask questions, hopefully to turn into, maybe 3 or 4 people discussing a certain topic, bringing their insight, their lived experience concerning children, concerning relationship, concerning community, and things of that nature. And the reason why I started with the conversation I had with my cousin is that it's so important that we use our words wisely and that we use our time wisely. So everything you do sends out a ripple effect. A ripple effect is basically when you think about a pond. And if you drop a pebble into a pond and you see that ripple effect go out, it was one action, one thought, one seed, but you see this continuous effect as it goes out, that one little tiny thing that you don't think much about. One of those things that is a small, tiny act or a small, tiny adoption of a thought is the idea process. I've been dealing with that a lot. We look at processes as one way. You might believe that there's a process to doing something, and if you do this thing, that one thing you're doing will have this huge effect. And one of the fallacies that we have is we want that effect to be super fast. We live in this microwave world where we think every process can be sped up, every process can be easy, and we're always looking for easy and we're looking for fast. We pay a premium for easy and for fast. And that's great because there are some things in life you can speed up the process and not lose much. But there are other things in life that are like moderate processes that might take 3, 5, 8 years, which seem like so long now in the way we shape our minds and our thoughts. And then there are other processes that are lifetime processes that take decades, and it takes dedication. And on the other side of a short process and that quick, easy, ineffective outcome, because things that happen quickly usually don't last long. On the other side of that is the long, drawn out process. And what I want to talk about is being able to understand what parts of your life are going to be short processes, moderate processes, and long-term processes, and why it matters to the ripple that you send off into the world, into the community, because that ripple you send off is the very way the world will respond to you and relate to you. So a short process may be, okay, really quickly, all right, I see you, Val. So a short process may be quick weight loss. You lose 10 pounds, you lose 15 pounds. Quick process might be you want a new car. So within 6 months, you change a few behaviors, you save some money, you start doing different things with your credit, you can finance a car in like 6 months. That's a short-term process. You can do that fast, you can do that effectively. The question is, the long-term payout is nowhere near equal. How you doing, Rebecca? Is nowhere near equal to those things that are valuable, that take long-term processes, lifetime processes. For instance, the long-term processes are the things that make up you as a human being. How do you show integrity? How do you show character? That's not a short-term process. What's up, Isaac? So when we're dealing with our children, we are neglecting to give them the benefits and the values of long life lessons, long-term life decisions, those pebbles that you drop, that each day and each moment of your life will build forth and send out a ripple into the world, which will turn into a tidal wave over a long course of time. So the things that make up, hey, how you doing, Sam? So, okay, from Tennessee. How you doing, bro? So the things that make up those long-term processes are the things that have the greatest payout. Those are the things, though, that we have begun to neglect. As society continues to so-called move forward, we are neglecting the understanding and the appreciation of the long-term process. The reason why a long-term process, and when you put your mind to something, you say, you know, I'm going to devote the next decade. I'm going to devote my life to this idea. I'm going to devote my whole being to becoming this thing, this person, a person that can think like this, a person who can be a steward over something. When you devote a long-term mindset towards a process, the payout is so big at the end because of the continuous commitment, you reaping benefits every day. I'm going to repeat that. I hope this makes sense. When you take on a long-term process, something that's going to take a decade, something that's going to take 20 years, a marriage, raising children, joining organizations and clubs that are working towards change, like in the Youngstown area, Action, like in the Cleveland area, you got BFO. When you take on a call of duty to a long-term process, to a long-term fight, the reason why the payoff is so much bigger is due to the fact because it's consistent. Every day you're going right back and you're dropping that one little pebble and it seems like a small thing, but you're making that ripple stronger and bigger. And you get the payoff and you start reaping the benefits, even when it does not look like it, for a life. So every day it's like you're getting a paycheck off that one decision. You just got to keep making that same decision and being, hey, man, how you doing? Love you. You just got to keep making that same continuous decision every day. When you have a short-term mindset and you always want everything fast, everything just right now. You don't want to wait on nothing. There's no idea, no hope for the future. You don't see yourself in 10 years. You don't see yourself in 5 years. You don't see yourself in 18 years. You're not taking any concern for the things that you're doing today and how they will influence your tomorrow and the many tomorrows that you, Lord willing, have in front of you. You make horrible decisions. You make decisions caught up in your flesh and your emotions. You make decisions triggered by other people's energy without checking against yourself the principles and values you have. And you make these bang, bang plays and they never pay off. What's up, cuz? So in life, it is so important for us as adults, as caregivers, as teachers, as instructors, as clergy, as leaders, because we're all leaders somewhere. There's someone who is dependent upon your leadership. Primarily, that population is children. And that's primarily what I want to focus on is the relationship we have with children. When children don't hear you and see you making long-term decisions and talking about the process and the benefits of the process, where else would they learn it from? If there is no talk of 20 years, 30 years down the road, if you don't start implanting that and training your child's mind and heart up in the way it should go, your child won't ever see themselves 20, 30 years down the road. So therefore, every decision they make will be based on today because they feel like life is over with after every day. They have no idea, no hope for tomorrow. Pop movie anytime you can go give an example. Okay, so let's talk about it like this. Okay, I like that. As you say, a popular entertainer. So Denzel, on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, Reels, YouTube, there's an interview of Denzel. He was speaking about early in his career, and they wanted to cast him as the stereotypical, whatever, black male in America, with a negative mindset, a victimized mentality. And he refused the role. And he refused the role because he knew if I take this on now in the beginning and my career will be defined by the early roles that I have. So therefore in the future, it will be hard to cross over because he saw himself 20, 30 years. Now that process might have been harder because when you first start anything, you want that instant result. You want that transaction because we're very transactional. You want, oh, I was an actor. I tried real hard. I got a part. I just want to take a part. We thinking volume, right? We thinking volume versus value. Denzel was thinking in value, not volume. I'm going to show you another example. Taraji P. Henson. I love Taraji. This is nothing negative against the sister. So we know that recently, like last year, she was speaking out about the discrepancies in pay and whatnot and the roles and all this. The issue is this. Taraji has to look at the roles that she took on. So she's been typecast a certain way, right? You've been typecast a certain way because you was thinking volume versus value. There are certain roles that are more valuable because they reach more people, because the effect that you have in the palm reach more people. So when they put your name on the marquee and they say you're in this movie, you reach a number of people and therefore your value is more because the role that's set up in the movie is just like any other job. Someone else took the creativity, the imagination to set up this whole organizational system and plug somebody in. So your value is based upon your replaceability. So if you are easily replaced, because anybody can play this type of role versus, man, only Angela Bassett can play this role. Only Viola Davis can really pull this role off. Only Denzel can pull this role off. You know, this is the type of actor we need for this type of role. The other actors aren't even considered because they've taken the short-term benefit. And there's many examples. Like you have Flavor Flav. He was typecast in a certain way. So we will never accept him in any other role, no matter where his mind actually is. The caricature that he played in media, he's stuck there. And it's no difference than our lives. Our lives, we're on the stage all the time. You're a brand. The decisions that you make, you must make long-term decisions. Long-term decisions will not please everybody. Long-term decisions will not please everybody. The process you go through in acquiring a long-term decision is the beauty of it. It's never that you obtain anything. And this is the reason why we always want. We never can get enough because you never actually obtain anything in life. What you do is you have experiences along the course of processes, and the person you become is the value. The person you become making a long-term decision and sticking it through and changing your mindset, changing your vocabulary, changing how you think and see the world, how you see yourself, and how you relate to the world, that is the powerful part. What you say, Isaac? The relationship of only role you can play. It is priceless. Absolutely. The only role you can play is yourself. The long-term process, the choice that's before us, is to work according to our gift. Because you can only play that role. Let's check this out. Let's go to the scriptures. So Lucifer was an angel who was created by God. Lucifer had an understanding of the holies. He was up there. He was up there. He had an understanding of the things of God. A great understanding. His decision to make an emotional, selfish decision and want not to work in his role to bring glory to God, but to give the glory that God wanted, he was in rebellion. That short-term ineffective decision led to him falling. So therefore, when he came in contact with what God created, Lucifer tempted us as human beings to disobey God's word. That's all Lucifer want to do is distract us to disobey the word. It don't matter how you disobey. You could be working with the Boy Scouts of America, volunteering at church, as long as it's disobedient to what God wants you for, it don't matter. Satan got you. It's not always this great evil thing, you smoking crack down by the river or something and pimping and shooting people. It's the distraction from the obedience of God's word. So Lucifer had a gift. He chose to make a short-term decision based upon him, not based upon how he could be relational in following orders. Then you got Christ. Christ came down in a bodysuit, was created for a purpose, right? Christ had a full understanding of the long-term decisions for his life. That's why as a kid, he was teaching. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing, reasoning in the synagogues. So when his earthly mother, right, and earthly father, Joseph came, he wasn't disobeying them. He wasn't being rude to them. He fully understood that if God told me to do it, it ain't disobedience. And I'm going to always choose what God has given me and the purpose He's given me, the long-term glory of eternal life, of eternal purpose, over anything short-term. Even if that is earthly disobedience to mother and father because God told me to do it. He was never confused. Jesus was never confused about what his purpose was, and that it was to bring kingdom and glorify God. That he was supposed to give his life literally unto obedience, give death unto obedience. He is our example. So when he would talk, he had a knowledge of the holies, great knowledge of the holy things. When he would talk, his influence over men and women was to open up their eyes and lead them to Christ, or expose that they were rebellious, because he was in obedience. Lucifer was in disobedience. They both had purpose. You every day are faced with that same decision. Will you subject yourself to the truth and make long-term decisions so you can be caught up in long-term processes which will create the person that you're supposed to be, so that therefore you can play the only role you were meant to play? Or will you be distracted by Satan to be rebellious against the thing you're called to? The thing you're called to is usually the thing you don't want to do, because it's contrary to the flesh. It's contrary to the distractions of the flesh. What's up, Lisa? How you doing? So back to the point. In life, we have to be able to recognize a short-term process, a moderate process, and a long-term process. Everybody in life wants everything fast. That's why you're driving on the highway, you got people swerving through. It's 60 cars in front of us. I can't drive up the back of this truck, but you pressing me to speed and disobey the law because you caught up in your emotions. You've mismanaged your time. You got frustration tolerance. I don't know what you want. You want them strong drugs, something wrong with you, and you want to put this ripple, this short-term ripple, into the community. And now I got to make a decision. Am I going to let you bully and peer pressure me because I feel uncomfortable? Because making the right decision will always be uncomfortable. Or am I going to just let you figure it out on your own? And that's what I realized. When I slow down, the fools just speed up and they'll figure it out on their own. I don't have to make an adjustment for a foolish person. Understanding the short term, the moderate, and the long-term decisions you're going to make for life, and that one judgment, that call, that thing that you do, the words you say, where you decide to go, what you stop doing, and that ripple it sends forth in your life is so important. That is a very important lesson that you should talk to children about. And the best way to talk to children about it is in real life. It's not in some weird, made-up philosophical thing. It's great to sit down with your children and teach them, listen, this is the light bill. This is, what's up, Tammy? This is the water bill. This is the mortgage. This is the car note. This is the insurance. This is the sewage. So we say, what are some skills we can adapt along the process of progress? Okay, I got you. So when you had that conversation in real time and the child, 4, 5, 6 years old, starts relating that there's a cost to that light. There's a cause and effect. The water just ain't coming on, right? This car that we drive, this is a car, and there's a whole process to obtaining these things in life. So what it does is it starts giving the child this long-term view, and it starts giving them a better view of the world. Because where there are no obstacles, where there are no objects, you can't have any understanding of depth. There's a bookcase behind me. In relationship to the bookcase, you can tell I'm probably not 30 feet away from the wall, right? So now if there was no bookcase, that would affect the spatial view. That would affect how you view my positioning. You have to give children objects and obstacles to give them perspective in life. The best conversation is a real conversation, not a made-up conversation, not a book about a parrot and a frog who was talking and the frog had a bad day and whatnot, because it's really confusing to how our minds work, because you're not a parrot nor are you a frog. So a child can't really relate to the character. Psychology would tell us that, but that's not true. How were people raising kids before we started making books about parrots, frogs, and monkeys and trying to relate them to human beings? Right? See, we caught up in a distraction. Talk to your child like it's a human being. You're raising a little man. You're raising a grown woman. You're not raising children. They're already children. They start off as children. Have the conversation so that they understand processes. The processes that you face in life is enough. You ain't got to make nothing up. You ain't got to make nothing up. You explain to them, I have to work a job. This job means this. I give this many hours. They give me this much money. Out of that money, now I have to make a budget, and this is how we eat. This is how I put the new dunks on your feet. This is how I buy you the little coat that you want. It's not magic. And one day, you're going to have to start making these decisions. And I need you to start thinking about them now. Trust me, the 5-year-old can catch up to that conversation. We are dumbing our kids down. We are slowing our kids down. Your child will go as fast as you want that child to go. It's been proven. 3, 4, 5 years old, that child can speak perfect French, write it, Spanish, Chinese. As far as you push that brain, that kid gonna keep up. That's the why kids, we say they bad. They doing this, they doing that, because we slowing them down. They need stimulus. They looking to learn. They love it. You making them hate learning. You making them hate and slow down the process, the lifelong process that's already programmed in them when they come out. We built to engage and adapt and have adaptability. And then with the false beliefs that we have, false conceptions that we have, the hang-ups that we have, we go and beat all that out the kid. Say they bad. Get down. Don't explore. Don't look. Don't think. Do what I tell you to do. You create a slave. We create slaves because we got a slave mentality. Your kid will go as fast as you go. Start having serious conversations with your kids. We say, real talk, my son had no idea how 1099 taxes work because of my tax problems. He felt like my home business company should be held liable for bad decisions until I had to explain how 1099. Exactly. The best conversation you can have with your child, you don't have to go get a bunch of degrees. You don't have to go find a psychologist and a clinical this and all that. You ain't got to read no whole bunch of books. Listen to a little something while you're driving. Turn the music off, turn the books on, and just have a real conversation with your child. When your child brings home his schoolwork, walk through it with him. Explain to him, okay, you're going through this process because school is compulsory. School will not define who you are as a human being. School teaches you social norms because they want you to behave a certain way. It has no definition of who you are as a person. No matter what book they say you in. You in the red reading book, the green reading book, the purple reading book, does not mean you're a poor reader or a bad reader. They're judging your reading according to some stuff they made up. Wow, what if you talk to your 6-year-old kid like that? Guess what? Your 6-year-old kid will understand that too. Guaranteed. We slow. Kids ain't slow. We slow. That's why it's hard for us to relate to them. They growing. They looking for creativity and imagination and exploration, and we trying to create a slave. This is the disconnect. So then by the time the kid get to be 12 or 13, their body start maturing. They can walk across the street by themselves, right? And they've grown into a mature adult, but you done kept them a slave. You lose credibility in your child's eyes. Teach your kid long-term processes. The best conversations you can have are the conversations that are real. You ain't gonna go make nothing up. You ain't gonna watch no movie and then relate to the movie. Why you want to be distracted? Why you always want somebody else to do the job? Just have a conversation. The best conversation you can have is about real life stuff. Boys and girls, love, marriage, all those things. Be honest with the child. The more honest you are with the child will start maturing as an adult, and they will begin their lifetime process earlier. They won't have to go through all the obstacles, because the reason why your kids don't want to talk to you when they're 12 and 13, you have lost credibility. So all the game that they were supposed to get, the game that they need in their mind, they're going to go find it somewhere else now. Now you're at the mercy of them learning about sex from their best friend at the lunch table that's also 11 years old and don't know much. You at the mercy of them learning leadership, manhood, responsibility from a gangbanger, right? You want the basketball coach to teach it to them. That's not how it's supposed to be. Think back before TV was invented and we got brainwashed because we were getting told what a family was. We got told what a family was. And now it's like, oh, a good woman should cook, clean, take care of the house, and now she should work and bring home some money. So now she's independent, she's a boss. A man should protect, provide, go to the office, come home, make a bunch of money, and then fix all the ills of the house, right? That don't even make sense. The truth about how family is created is this. The wife, the woman of the house, never had the responsibility of raising a young man. When the young man got to the point where he could run around it, you was going to be up underneath your father in apprenticeship, learning the business, learning about the world, being around other men, hearing men converse, hearing the war councils talk about the village, the town, what's the next move, right? And learning how to interact, being a gopher. Your dad is a blacksmith, so you learning, you go for it. You learning the tools of the trade. You hearing the conversations when he delegating responsibility to other people. You hearing when responsibility being delegated to him. You seeing men interact. That's where men were supposed to be. We want our kids at the house watching Talking Cucumbers. We want our kids playing all day instead of learning. So you slow them down, and intrinsically it destroys them. So then when they get older, you lose credibility in their eyesight. Speed your kid up by making your kid focus on long-term conversations. So Mike, you asked about the skills. I would say the number one skill is you have to tell yourself, you have to make a decision. A decision is different than a choice. A decision is a one-time move. A decision is I'm going north. I point north and I'm going to go north. It don't matter what obstacles are in my way, I'm going to go north. Once I make a decision, all my choices, this is it. So it's one decision, all these choices. All my choices are easy. So when I wake up in the morning, what should I do? If I decided I'm going to go to school and get a bachelor's degree, that means I'm going to do all the stuff college people do. I'm going to saturate myself in the culture, the language, the lingo, the environment. I'm going to put myself in the environment and do all the college stuff. All my choices I made because I made the one decision, right? So making a decision to be a lifetime learner, that's the decision that we all must make. Make a decision that I don't know everything, right? I will never know everything, but it is possible for me to find truth. Make a decision that truth exists and that truth is revealed by God in his word. That truth is revealed by God through his prophets. That truth is revealed by God through his creation. That's the best skill you can have. Make that one decision, your choices become easy now. So now everything that comes my way, I have a balance. I have a weight. I have a scale to weigh it against, right? Because I made this one decision that truth exists. I can find truth, right? Truth, I'm in a relationship to truth. I'm not opposed to it. It's not something that I can't find. It's not something that doesn't exist. And you have to make that decision that you will seek truth. Once you start seeking truth, your choices become easier. And you can apply that to everything. That's a mindset. You can look through those glasses and look at everything. But if you don't think truth exists, if you think it's 50 ways to do it, everybody got an opinion, it could work like this, it could work like that, life going to be tough for you. It's going to be tough for everybody that you got leadership and influence over. Because you're going to always be confused. Because you don't think truth exists. Truth absolutely exists. Truth only works one way. There's a right way and there's a wrong way to do everything. Everything on your body is controlled by a law or a principle or a rule, whatever you would like to call it. It only works one way. Your eyes take that light, project. It only works one way. My tongue, as it goes and the air passages and things, that's how sound is created. It only works one way. Everything in creation, we confuse. That rotation, the sun, the moon, right? The oceans, the waves, the tides, those things is working. They working. No matter what we think, they working. Seed time and harvest, till I return. It's working. What he told Noah when he got off the boat, it's working. When you seek truth, it makes that one decision to seek truth and understand that you can find truth and understand that that's going to be the test and the measure of every ripple you put in the pond is in accordance to truth that makes all them choices easy for your life. That will be the number one skill. Decide that you will seek truth, that you are going to be a lifetime learner and be in pursuit of truth. Not in pursuit of feeling good, not in pursuit of being right, not in pursuit of trying to find out if somebody else is wrong so you can go debate, and have intellectual masturbation conversations that lead to absolutely no life and no fruit. So that would be the number one skill I would say. Just start with that skill. That skill right there is going to set you up in a beautiful course. That one ripple that you put into your mind, that one decision you make will bring a beautiful ripple that will be a long-term process, which will pay dividends every day to you, your family, and everybody you got influence or you got relationship with. So what I want to leave us with is we need to be able to recognize processes. Short-term, moderate processes, long-term processes. Everything in life is not going to come quick. There are few things that you can speed up and you don't lose much. And usually those things don't mean much though. Usually those things don't mean much. The things that mean so much, the things that we struggle with are demanding a moderate to a long-term process, which means lifetime, 20 years, 15 years, mastery. So brother I listen to, Myron Golden, you don't do it till you get good at it. You do it till you can't get it wrong. You do it till you can't get it wrong. That's mastery. And that's what we're doing in life. You repeating every day until you can't get it wrong. Or you at the mercy of everything that come your way. It's up to you what kind of mindset you're going to have, how you going to view that thing. So I would suggest be a seeker of truth. Look for truth, know that truth exists. Because if you believe truth exists, you'll find it. Once you start looking for something, you already found it. Let that sink in. If you start looking for it, that means you already found it. Because why would you go look for it unless you already have faith in it? And faith precedes action. Submission is active faith, I believe. And when I submit, that means I'm actually looking for it. That means I actually adopt it as a principle for my life. Every Sunday at 7 p.m., Lewis Helps. Like I said, in May, the end of May, I'm going to start setting up interviews. Absolutely. Do it till you can't wrong. Absolutely, Lisa. So I'm going to start setting up the interviews. Well, not even an interview. It ain't even going to be like an interview. I'm just going to start setting up like just panels, just councils. I just want people to come on and just share their lived experience, talk about things that they want to talk about, bring their views, their opinions, to start building a community. So at the end of May, I'm going to start doing that. Then we're going to start cranking up in the summer. I'll start doing 2 days. I'll still do my live at 7. And then I'll start doing an interview day based upon the availability of whatever we put together that is comfortable for everybody else. So go to Lewis@lewishelps.com, register. That's going to turn into something. I'm just letting it build up. Register at Lewis@lewishelps.com. That's my website. Register your name and your email. I got some special things going to happen this summer for the community. Also, go to YouTube, subscribe, like, and make a decision, man. Make a decision. I see you, cuz, for sure. Make a decision. Make a decision that truth exists. Make a decision and understand long-term processes are beautiful. That is the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful. And now I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about wealth of health, wealth of relationship, wealth of happiness, joy, people that have control of their life, control of their thoughts. All right, Isaac. They understand long-term processes are the key to life. The things you have to, exactly, whatever you're looking for, you already found it. Oh, okay, for sure. So whatever you're looking for, you already found it. To look for. So think what it is to look for something. If you're looking for something, that means you had to have had a relationship with it in some kind of way, whether it was physical or tangible or it was spiritual, whether it was symbolic. You had to have saw, right? Heard or saw on the physical realm. You had to have heard out somebody's mouth. Kind of bit of last week's powerful thought for it today. You had to have heard it, saw it, witnessed it, right? Or internally in the spirit, it must be something that is of you and in you. Why would you go look for something? Think about what it is to look for something. If you're looking for it, you already found it. That means you're trying to gain clarity. You're trying to gain revelation, right? You're trying to gain revelation of something that's in you already. So when you look at who you are today, Lisa, look at Lisa Adams Horsley today, who you are today, how you think, and then look back in comparison. Like I said, we need something to compare. Look back at how you thought 20 years ago. Look at how you thought 30 years ago. Look how you thought last year and how you pushed yourself and you've developed. When did you become that woman? When did you become Lisa Adams Horsley of today? In real time, it played out in a process. It's playing out in this long-term process. But every time you climb this new mountain, every time you go look for this mountain, every time this vision comes of this new recreation as you learn and growing, Lisa, if you're looking for it, you already found it. You was Lisa Adams Horsley of today when you were first born. It was already in you. What Satan does is distracts us. It throws all these ounces like a video game, like Frogger. It throws all these cars at yourself and try to derail you from who you are and what you are. You already was that person. It's always in there. That's what the Wizard of Oz is about. I don't give y'all the Wizard of Oz. My Wizard of Oz, that's my keynote. I got a cold Wizard of Oz. Think about what she told Dorothy. Dorothy, you always had the power to go home. But if I would have told you in the beginning of the process, you wouldn't have had no faith. You had to go through the process to understand who you were and the power you already had. You get what I'm saying? If you're looking for it, you already found it. Start believing in yourself. That's what that means. If you're looking for it, we always wanted to be everywhere else. This guru got it. That one got it. Over here, this prophet got it. It's already in you. It's revelation. So it's hard to understand the Bible. People want to take revelations and put a timestamp on it. That ain't what it's saying. It's saying it's being revealed. If it's being revealed, it's right there in front of you. It's in you. It's being like I revealed. It's being revealed. Why Superman rip off his thing to show what was already under it? They telling us in movies. We missing it. I hope that gave you some understanding. Okay, there you go. It's already in you. You was Lisa Adams Horsley on day one. Before you was informed in your mother's womb, you was Lisa Adams Horsley. It's just being revealed to you. That's the confidence to keep moving on in the long-term process. I said, investment in long-term processes is a lifetime payment. It's a lifetime payment. Why Superman rip off? It's revealing what? What's in there? We wear all these different masks. We got all these different fake things that we put on the stage. What's up, brother? What's up, Pat? God bless you. We put all these fake masks on and we hide who we really are, right? If you're looking for it, it's already in you. You already done found it. It's just foggy. What the Bible say I see through a glass. Damn, I see through this glass. It's foggy. I can't quite see it. What do? Light come and you got to make an adjustment. So when the light is too bright, you squint. Some people run and squint and hide. When that light come, when that calling come, right? When that light come, you squint and you hide. Some people keep fighting it and adjust to their eyes. What can adjust to that new level of light? That's you being revealed to you. So the 10X. Oh, so last week when I was talking about the 10X, it's easier than 2X. So the premise of that book was to accomplish 10X goals. So let's say it was steps. Let's say 10X was 10 steps. It's easier to go up 10 steps than it is 2 steps. The reason being is this 2 steps allow you to keep the 80% of who you are. The 80% equals your skill level, your habits, what you do every day, your ordinary every day. Let's make the example of losing weight. Everybody know they can lose 10 pounds. If I gave anybody a challenge, I'm going to give you $1,000. You got to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. Everybody will raise their hand and take that $1,000. That's an easy $1,000. That's a 2X activity. That's a 2X goal. That's a 2X aim. That's a 2X outcome, right? Because you don't have to change much. That's why you know you can do it. Your faith, you don't need faith in that. You know you can do it. But if I told you, you got to turn into a bodybuilder so that you could compete and win a contest, that's a 10X goal because the overwhelming majority of us know you can't stay this same person and do that. So since I know I got to change and be a whole new person, I got to now just push that 80% distraction out of the way and grow into the person that does the thing. And when I got to do something that's a total different person, my focus is easier because now I'm going looking for how I can saturate myself. I make that one decision and make all my choices easier. I need to be a bodybuilder. So I got to do all the stuff bodybuilders do. I got to go hang out where they hang out, do the lingo, drink the powder drinks they drink, work out how they work out, go get a coach that's going to lead me to the result I want because I made that one decision. And I know I can't stay the same person. The 80% of my habits and my likes and my dislikes and 80% who I am now will never turn me into a bodybuilder. But see, I can stay the same person and lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. So that's what he was saying. A 10X is easier than a 2X. You got a better chance of accomplishing a 10X aim than you do a 2X aim. The book is by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. Cold book. Pat, that's one of the books Myron always be talking about. And I waited all the way till like 2 weeks ago to finally read it. I should have been read it. Okay. Okay. All right. My bad. I did not know. Okay. So Lisa said, make sure that bedroll are not for women in menopause. I apologize to any women in menopause if I put something on you that you cannot accomplish. I did not mean to be cruel. But okay, Lisa just tightened me up on that. So I hope that answered everybody's question, man. I love y'all. Love yourself. Every Sunday at 7 p.m., Lord willing, I'm going to be here. But seriously, speed your kids up. Don't let your kid get to be 13, 14, 12 years old trying to figure out the world by itself because we neglected just to have real conversation about them. Talk to your kids about the bills. Not in an emotional way. They're always spending too much money. That this is the bills. This the money I'm bringing in. This what this costs. This how the lights work. You got to get the lights turned on in your name. You're going to have to do this one day. So you need to learn now. I was at a gas station. It was beautiful. The lady got out. She had a little daughter. She had to be about 10, 9 or 10. She was a little bitty girl. And they went in. They paid for the gas. They came back. I didn't see what happened inside, but I'm sure she allowed the girl to pay for the gas. I just got that feeling. Because when they came out, the girl took the cap off. She made her push the button, and she told her how to pump gas. That's all your kids want, man. You want to be a super mom? Do that type of stuff with your kids. Give your kids real game. You want to be a super dad? Have real conversations with them. So as they grow and they mature, you done taught them the lifetime process, the lifetime investment in learning, right? They can trust you now. Because I know my mom always got the answers. Because the only thing they ask you is the same thing you went through. They asked you the same thing you went through. You was 10 before. You got mastery at 10 in hindsight. Think about all the stuff you wish somebody told you at 10. That's the conversation you had with them when they were 10. What did you want somebody to tell you at 11? Have that conversation. Stop copping out and hoping somebody else do it. The volleyball coach going to teach them leadership. You going to put them in karate to learn leadership. You do it. You there. You the one they trust. You their first superhero. You their first superhero. You they Superman. You they Superwoman. They waiting on you to be revealed. And you reveal by just being yourself. As Isaac say, you can't get caught up in nobody else's story. You can't get caught up in nobody else's story. You got to live your story. Your kid is waiting for you to be revealed as Superman, Superwoman in life. Have a basic conversation. Go teach them how to pump gas. Go teach them how to go get the car washed. Go teach them how to go pay the bills. Go teach them how to go get a job. Show them when you studying and you trying to improve yourself. If you go to a course or a challenge, bring your kid with you. You going to them conferences, bring your kid with you. Have the kid help you set the table up. Show them what you know. Teach the kid how to engage with people. Man, that's what they're going to love you for. Your kid will love you for that. That's being a super mom and a super dad. Had a conversation. Lifetime processes. I love y'all. Love yourself. I'll see y'all next Sunday at 7 p.m. Go to lewis@lewishelp.com. Register. We'll have some great, exciting things coming up this summer. Some very beneficial things for families coming up through the website. And also go to Lewis Helps on YouTube and subscribe and like. I love y'all. Love yourself. Peace.